Me. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? June 8th or some shit like that. New killer, new map comes available. New map literally is an asset from one of the Hitman games. Like literally, spots for spot, thing for thing. They just kind of cleaned up the extra stuff. But I'm not gonna go there. I mean, it could have just been a bot asset that Hitman devs bought too, and then they just designed with it, which is more common nowadays than you'd think. Instead of spending all of the time and money to design your own asset, buying an asset or pre-made house, placing it, and then just changing things about it or aspects about it is a lot cheaper than designing a house from the ground up. So, yeah. But I do recognize the house from the new map being from Hitman, which is sadness. We finally get a new map, and yes, they designed some of the outside and all of that and put their tile sets and all of that in, but that's definitely not made from scratch. I can assure you that. Anyway, let's hop on into some Dead by Daylight reviews, and then we will hop on the public test beta. Well, I already have it preloaded, but you know what I mean. We'll hop on the PTB. We will look at the new killer and give a review about it. I'm both happy and disappointed at the same time. From what I've seen thus far, I don't know really anything about this particular killer. But, you'll see things as we go through it. I am not signed in. Generally, I would hide that, but I really don't care. If somebody hacks into my account, congratulations, you got a couple of posts that I posted in and things like that. Oh well, I'm not losing much. 6-year anniversary. Cosmetic Meg. Fog Walker. I mean, it's an outfit for Meg, and it's more animalistic. It's very anime. This is literally the bottom of a character's anime that I don't remember what anime it's from, but I've watched it somewhat recently. This is the exact outfit. And then she just has on a basic shirt. That particular person had arm wraps down one side of their arm too. Actually, it might have been both sides of the arm. They had an arm wrap at one part in time too. So this person literally watched a particular anime or movie or whatever the fuck it's from. I think it's from an anime because this looks familiar. And yeah, said that looked good on Meg and then designed it. Alrighty then. Definitely shouldn't put your name. If this is made by you, you should definitely not sign this with your name. You should use your alias or whatever you use online, unless this is your alias. Or you're kind of dossing yourself. So I never recommend putting your actual name on any works of art that you share online, because people have gotten cyberbullied and harassed off of that. Especially if you are indeed a female. I don't think the actual forum is that toxic or anything like that, but if you do that in any other sites, somebody might hit you up that you don't want to hit up. This is an old one brought from the past. I can skip on past this. This is just more comments. More comments, more comments, and more comments. Mother Trapper, the caretaker. Alright, we will start here at keeping it real, spelled interestingly. 33 posts. Let's see how long this is going to be. Not long at all. Give me a second. I'm actually going to skim through this. Using the game itself as a trap. Stick-like item. You can trap all the various things in the game. And when they complete generators, things happen. No. I'm good on that. Yeah, I think I'm good on this. You've literally taken the trapper. I mean, it is says mother trapper, so, you know, is what it is. But from what I'm seeing briefly, it's just the ability to, instead of lay traps down, the trap items that are already in the game. Just that she traps and interacts with the environment and is the game's meta killer. Definitely not the meta killer. I don't think you understand what the word meta stands for, but she's definitely nowhere near meta. Short, somewhat fast, but not overly strong. Opposite intent of Trapper. But it's the same intent of Trapper. She might not be tall, but her being short, I mean, enables her to, you know, set traps without being seen, like the Trapper's tall ass. When he bends down to set a trap, everybody can see. Whereas she's shorter. When she's setting a trap, she can be somewhat hidden. Fast, probably 4.6 meters per second, same as the Trapper. Not overly strong. I mean, she's going to have to be able to pick up a survivor and hook them like anybody else, so she's going to have the same base strength of any other killer. But it's like you're essentially just made it easier. It's just an easier trapper. But making the trapper easier, you can no longer trap, you know, random areas and things like that throughout the map. You can only trap items. So it's just a different variant of trapper. That's not like, it's not unique enough. Because I mean, like pallets. You can put a trapper's trap right in the middle of a pallet. Window on the other side of a window. Totems, that one's a little bit more difficult to get a trap by a totem. And then you can put traps near hooks and all of that. The only difference is this is a trap that can literally, you know, go on something. But since you are trapping something, there's going to have to be some sort of change to that particular item so survivors can identify that it's trapped. So something like that's going to have to be designed. And like I said, it's not anything different from the trapper because the trapper has the ability to put traps on all of these various different things. It's just that she's more of a niche thing. She can walk up to a thing and she can trap that specific item. Hmm. Also, trapping hooks and, you know, things like that. If you trap a hook, then hook a survivor on that particular hook, what happens? Obviously, the trap should already activate and nothing should happen to a survivor going for rescues and all of that. If this particular concept was brought out more and actually thought about heavily and actually designed to be unique from the trapper, I would take the time and go all over this or over this. I mean, it gives an example from somebody else's post. from the Trapper's buffs and all of that, but this ain't what we're looking for, Chief. Design this concept yourself, take some time and effort into it, and actually make this into a proper killer instead of taking something from the base game and then changing it into something that you would like. This ain't even in the right form. I'm just gonna go on past that. Legendary characters rework idea. Character select option for legendary so they feel less like skins and more as like actual survivors. I don't understand. Oh, I see. So instead of having both of them there together, you would have a. Basically, it's the same as Rainbow Six Siege. If anybody's played Siege, or your regular operator has their regular portrait picture and their regular outfit and all of that. And then their legendary outfits, they have, unique phrases and things that they say at the end and do. Their outfits are different, their portraits change, things like that. So if you've played Rainbow Six Siege, you understand what this post is saying. If you haven't, then I don't really know what to tell you. But essentially, let's say both of them two are the same. This is going to be the regular portrait. This is going to be the legendary. So her regular portrait, when everybody's playing her, is going to be just, your regular Cheryl Mason. Make this, Cheryl Mason, act like this is Cheryl Mason. And this would be her legendary portrait. All of this would be gold. She would have golden, like, beautiful ass hair, super high cosmetics and makeup and all of that. And she would look prestige. Or Dead by Daylight wise, she might look bloody and legendary. But generally, they look prestige, all dressed up, nice clothes on and things like that. She'd be shining and glistening and shit. She would have her own outfits and things, that are, very high cosmetic, that look like really good. And then she would probably have, unique gestures and everything along with that. I think that's sort of where they're trying to go along. But I mean, like, legendary characters in parentheses are really just reskins. Every survivor that you see is essentially just kind of a reskin when it comes down to it. Yes, they're different and things like that. They have different animations and everything like that, but I mean, it's the same. If you have her there and then you have her as a legendary, her clothes and all of it are going to change, but it's still the same character. So it's going to still have around about the same hitbox and all of that. Just a gussied up or prettied up survivor. So I don't understand what you're wanting to design or make behavior design different characters for the legendaries and all of that when it doesn't really make sense. This is an old post that I went over way back when. Killer idea, the Weaver. The Weaver wouldn't want to leave her. The Weaver wouldn't want to meet her. Very, very short. Very, very, very short killer, but we'll see if we can make some sense of this. The killer, the Weaver, razor sharp scissors, tear radius 24 meters, speed 110%. So you're looking at 4.4 meters per second, same as the Huntress, for example, with a tear radius that is severely less. Like severely, severely less. Generally, you'll be looking at 28 meters Well, 32 meters is standard. You would get 28 meters for a range killer that has, semi-accurate projectiles. 24 meters generally is balanced by the fact that your killer, like the Trickster, for example, has terrible accuracy. Or your killer has some sort of additional nerf to their actual power, to where it's kind of unruly and hard to control, and takes skill and knowledge, which gives you the extra 4 meters per second. But we'll see. Power, tangled threads. Tangle, the fates are all in your past. Let their screams of pain be a reminder that fate is not on their side. Special ability. Then what's the power? If this is the special ability, what's the power? I'm actually going to start skipping posts that do this. I'm not going to go over them. This is where I put my foot down. If you can't tell me what your power is besides just a regular thing like that, I'm going to deem these posts from now on not necessarily go over. I will skip these. If you say your power is tangled threads, don't give me a brief, description, or it's not even really a description. Don't give me an introduction and then skip to whatever the special ability is. Tell me what these tangled threads are, what they do, what they're part of. This is not a power. Power should be associated generally with the power button. Don't say special ability, because there's an ability button, and then say the power button to do something. That means your string of destiny is your power, not tangled threads. So don't name your power tangled threads and then have a power button with string of destiny. Name string of destiny up here, and then move all of this up and get rid of that. Then no, I'm not going to go over the rest of this. Plus, it's short and doesn't look like a lot of thought's been put into that. And I will give you an example since it's the final time I'm going over this. For example, it was a range killer, so I will specifically pick the Huntress in this situation. And we will go from here. I mean, you get all of her base stats and all of that. If you care. Huntress is different. Now that I think about it, her tear radius is smaller, but she has a lullaby radius of 45 meters. But it's still the same. Blah, blah, blah. Power. Hunting hatchets. The description that person gave underneath was just fine. But after you give your description about that, tell me what the hunting hatchets do. Press and hold the power button. Power. Hunting hatchets. Power button. The power. To wind up hatchet. Release to throw hatchets. And then it gives you the basic stats and all of that. Then if you want to add power trivia or something underneath it to show, all the extra stuff instead of including it up there to make it look nice and cleaned up, do it like that. Also, I beg of you, do not put your perks before the power. Because if you put your perks before the power, then at the end of the review, like when you're making an actual done concept, put it whatever the Dead by Daylight format is. However, when you're making a concept, concepts are different than finished products. This is a finished product, so they just listed everything down. They're not trying to, push this to Dead by Daylight. This is already in the game. But if you list your perks first, and then give me a killer to review, I'm not going to be able to link the actual perks to your killer. Excuse me. And let you know if these perks are good perks to your actual killer. Because I do everything from top to bottom. Everything should be sequential. The base stats about your killer and all of that should come first. the lore and all of that, put it in where it fits in. But the base stats should be first. Afterwards, your power should be next. So when I go through and I do the entirety of your particular killer's power, I have full knowledge of how your killer works. Or at least what you've told me thus far. Of how your killer works, how it's supposed to be played, etc., etc. Then when we get down to perk-wise, not only can I review your particular perks, I can also go back and review your perks to see if it's relevant to your actual killer. If you put your perks first, then I'm just telling you if the perks are good or not for the base game, not if they're good enough for your killer. So you're losing a little bit of review that you can do there. What's going on, Galanonim? Nice to see you. On this fairly nice day over here, it's kind of cloudy. Not too hot, not too cold, at least around me. So I beg of you, list your killer power first, and then list your perks afterwards, towards the end, of your killer concept, obviously before you get through all the extra stuff, but, so I can say, oh, Huntress's Lullaby, this is good for your particular killer or not, and I'm not just reviewing the perk. This also stops the easy thing and forces you to look back and double check your powers and all of that to make sure you don't have anything repeating as well. New killer perks work similar to one of my killer's ability concepts. I have no knowledge of the killer's perks or abilities. Well, I know a little bit of their abilities, but not their perks or anything like that. But it's already loaded up. We'll get to that in a moment. Uno momento. And that's basically how you'd like to have everything done. Killer, power, perks. Lore and all of that, again, you can put it in where it fits in. Add-ons and all of that, doesn't really matter where they go as long as it's after everything. And that would be a ideal post for the creative, so nobody has to go look at the perks and all of that, scroll down to your killer, look at your killer, scroll back up, go to the perks again, scroll back down. Everything should be in an order to where you can look at it from top to bottom and not have any questions about prior things. That's concept design. Once you've passed the concept design, design it however you want. Gears of War chapter. Well, I haven't finished the newest Gears of War, so no idea. But I can tell you right now, you're definitely not going to get a Gears of War character in a Dead by Daylight. You realize the studio that makes Gears of War, AAA game, for a AAA game to lend any of their players to an indie game is going to cost them a significant amount of money. Like an insurmountable amount of money. Because they know how much revenue and everything they're going to make if they say, hey, we have Gears of War in our game. The community is going to go fucking wild, and Dead by Daylight sales are going to shoot up through the roof. The Gears of War studio ain't gonna sit there and be like, yeah, man, enjoy that free money boon, keep up the good work. They're gonna say, no, you're gonna pay us a significant amount of it because you're using our brand in your game. So, for that to happen, it's going to cost a lot of money. I mean, Behavior would make a lot of money, but they're going to have enough money to foot the bill, you know what I'm saying? Or they're going to lose like 80% of their royalty, and it's not going to be worth it in the end. I'm going to go over this final Survivor concept, and then we can switch over to PTB. Yeah, about half an hour is what I was looking for. Whoops. So we have an observant scout by the name of Jaquez Forrest. Jaquez? Jaquez? Let's just say Mr. Forrest. He can remember things like nobody else can, and what is locked away from the average eyes is all but clear to him. His personal perks cite for success. I don't know what that word means, so I'm not going to say it. The big A and follow the scent allow him to track important objectives and remember the killer's location. I don't know what that particular words mean, so pardon me for not pronouncing it. Because if I do say something and it ends up being, really, really bad, that's going to be the end of the channel. So I will sustain. Especially from somebody who only has 4 posts. Appearance, and I don't know why they put I guess that's a tag, is what they call them nowadays before that. The first thing you see, you need to work on your descriptions, bro. That is the first thing you see in the description. I can't tell you how bad of a description that is. The first thing that you see when you're describing somebody, or when you should say when you're describing somebody, should not be that. Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant? You could have drawn a picture and shown that in other ways, but that's not relevant. All you had is easily could have said is say, he was tall. He's tall with waves for hair, wears a navy blue and yellow hoodie, black undershirt, blue jeans, and a pair of Timbs. But on top of that, not only did you say that right there, you also said this right here. Now, I'm sitting here thinking that you're racist. Because you said he's an observant scout. He remembers things, like everything else. That can either be a Boy Scout, it can be a military scout, it can be all kinds of different scouts. If he's part of the Boy Scouts raise money and all of that to help people in need. They also help their scouts. So he would be getting additional help and all of that from his Boy Scout troop. He was part of that. And if he's a military scout, because there's no age, then he's going to obviously have the military from wherever he is behind them. So it wouldn't make sense. Also, kids can't be in the game, which is why I essentially thought he was going to be either like a music scout or something like that, an adult, essentially. Of at least, high school or older, 18 or older. And if you think about an 18-year or older person, it's not going to be any type of Boy Scout. It's going to be a scout for something else. So this story doesn't make sense for him being an observant scout and also being poor and all of that. Your story making don't make sense, and it's almost on tier with being racist. I'm not calling you racist, but this looks racist as fuck. Especially because the way that you wrote it. First thing, you write that. Second thing, I know he's poor. What does that mean? That it sounds racist as hell. On top of that, I think I'm actually just not going to do that. We're going to head over to PTB and we're going to call that a day because that's a big oof for my dude. You definitely don't want to call out a particular race and then immediately say, I know he's poor. What do you mean, I know he's poor? It sounds bad. Let's think a little bit harder and put a little bit more effort into everything before we open our mouths. Yes? Yes. Here we are on public test beta. The new guy, or new killer, it's got a mushroom tipped head. It looks like some sort of amalgamation of some sort, or a whole bunch of people, or some sort of thing. I can't get over the mushroom tipped head, though. What was his name? The Dredge. A manifestation of the dark thoughts of a once vibrant community. The Dredge is able to teleport between lockers and summon an overwhelming darkness. I think it was new record of disappointment. What, the mushroom tip head or the concept? Look at my boy. We didn't even get to the perks. Yeah. I mean, it's just kinda... His story writing's not good. I'd rather him have just remained silent and introduced the perks at that point. That was, S and oofer. So he isn't an amalgamation. He's just a manifestation of dark thoughts, which is why he's a shadow. When I first seen him, I seen all the skulls and all of that, and I just assumed he was an amalgamation. But he's not. Concept, the killer looks like a good drinking pal. Oh, was that what you were talking about yesterday? Dissolution. Or dissolution. I see, I see. He's from Whore? I don't think he's from a whore, but he might be. I don't know where he'd be from. I didn't even know about it yesterday. Oh. Well. Here we are then. It's apparently all the dark thoughts of a community put together, which is why there's all the skulls and everything like that, and also gives him his shadow form. Honestly, I think that's behavior being lazy, to be honest with you. Or being short on time, and they just saying, fuck it, add in the mist instead of designing an actual body for him. Or nobody could agree on the body. I meant the Leon perk that lights you gin when multiple survivors do it. Oh, the Legion perk? That's Discordance. So yes, we were talking about Discordance. Gotcha. He can apparently teleport between lockers and summon overwhelming darkness. Now, I know the overwhelming darkness just makes the sky go from day to night. So they're messing around with environmental effects. And I think that's the whole point of this killer, is for them to just to see on their new game, to see whether or not people enjoy the day to night effects and whether they should include it into something. The teleporting between lockers, I do know that as you teleport between lockers, survivors can lock the lockers and delay you from getting out. Only once, though. So that is one thing. His perks, Dissolution, Darkness Revealed, and Septic Touch, allow it to destroy pallets, spot survivors near lockers, and affect healing survivors with blindness and exhausted. So like Fearmonger, if I'm understanding that correctly. From here, we will click on the loadout. Skip these for now, and let's look at the actual power. I saw he counters my deception. It's unfair. Ooh, I got 1.5 million. I can actually level him up quite a lot. Like a dark thought, the dredge is difficult to shake, and when night falls, it is nearly impossible. Interesting. Special ability, the gloaming. Gloaming? What the hell kind of a word is that? The gloaming. Press and hold the power button to activate. Once activated, the dredge leaves a remnant behind. So he creates a clone of himself behind. Okay. Aim at a locker and press the ability button to teleport into it, or press the attack button to return to the remnant. Oh. So when you teleport, you leave a little image behind, and your body essentially is incorporeal. We can say incorporeal, but, you know, invisible. And then you can either teleport to a particular locker, or you can just go back to the remnant wherever, you know, that particular remnant is. That's interesting, because people can see that you're actively using your power, and they can counter that. That's something Critty would love this, then, because this is something that Critty's been trying to implement forever. Alright. The remnant is disabled when teleporting to a locker or when a survivor touches it. So what happens if they are in that little form trying to teleport and the survivor touches it and the remnant disappears? Can they not, you know, go back into where they were? I'm confused. I kinda wish I was in a private lobby testing this, because I really want to know. Or does it force you to teleport to the nearest locker? Because that would be an interesting counter to this killer, is if they tried to teleport to a locker, another survivor touched them, and then they were forced to teleport away. So they would have to use their teleports, you know, sparingly, and can't be using them around, you know, a large amount of survivors, or they'll just force you to yeet yourself around. If you use deception on the locker, he teleports to you. You are dragged into a locker. Oh, that's disgusting. That's kind of hard to do. You're looking at like maybe a 1% play, but that's kind of disgusting. Um, I do know that once you teleport to a locker, you can teleport to another locker. It's like 2 teleports or something before the power ends too. You can also exit the locker or return to your remnant to activate the cooldown when all power tokens are recharged. There you go. I just explained the thing about the survivors being able to place a lock on the locker. It just slows the dredge down. The dredge can break the locks on the locker. So if a survivor's working on a particular gen and you just walk to that gen, walk over to the locker, break the lock, they can now no longer lock that particular locker. So you can easily just, basically, as you're patrolling gens, swing at a locker instead of going for the survivor, and set yourself up. Real nice. Survive, we already looked at that. Blah, blah, blah. Each locker can only be locked once. I already went over that. Special ability, Nightfall. So, the day to night meter that makes the map shift builds when a healthy survivor is injured, a survivor is hooked, or more importantly, the teleport power is used. I think it takes like, what? I don't even remember. I think it was like 5 teleports or 5 power uses to get it. It's either like 3 or 5, somewhere around there. I think it's 5 teleport uses to get the Nightfall meter up. Something crazy like that. But hitting survivors and then teleporting and trying to catch survivors will build your Nightfall meter very, very quickly. So you always want to stay on the move and all of that. During Nightfall, survivors must navigate in total darkness. The darkness actually isn't too terribly bad if you just turn your gamma up or your brightness up. I'm not going to. I left it at default for that particular reason, just to see how dark it gets for somebody, you know, who plays the game and actually is, you know, part of it. Wants to be like immersed in the game. My immersion. So everything is roundabout the same. It's going to look very, very dark, but we'll see how dark it looks. Obviously, turn your brightness up. The darkness isn't going to do anything to you. In total darkness, the dredge teleport is faster with shorter cooldowns, and there is no tear radius, so you're undetectable during that. I think somebody's been reading my reviews, and they actually listened to what they said there. Interesting. Nightfall ends after 60 seconds. Survivors destroying the remnant also reduces the time of an active Nightfall. Also, some of the people that have been posting in the actual creation forum are devs on alternate accounts. I have found that out. I actually went back and looked at particular concepts that I've reviewed before. And this particular killer was posted before. This whole killer was posted before on the actual forum. I remember going through it. I remember doing the review and everything on it. Now, there wasn't any pictures or anything else, you know, to explain what the killer is. It was just, like it says, a concept. So the devs do post concepts to the actual forum before they go through and implement them into PTB. At least sometimes. This is the second time that I've noticed that it happened. So, yep, with the locker. Yep. I remember one concept with the locker. Yep. That'd be the one. So the devs actually do post their creations to the actual creation forum, and then they get the feedback and all of that, and then they decide to go from there. But yeah, that's a thing. Because you got to think, they've been working on this concept for probably a decent amount of time. It didn't just pop out within the last couple of months. Because they had Sadako and all of that also on the grill cooking as well. So all of these concepts that keep being pushed out were also, you know, stacked. So there you go. They do pay attention to the creation forum. So if you have an idea, post them. You never know what might happen. I'm going to reduce the sound because the blood web sound is terrible for the ears. I also should probably plug in my controller, huh? Ah, man, I'm gonna... Nope, nope, there it goes. So let's spend... Wait. Oh. I thought I refreshed the blood web. I was like, what? How was that possible? I would love to be able to spend like 100,000 blood points and refresh the blood web. That would be cool. I will go over his particular perks in a moment. I want to make sure I can actually get them in the blood web first. And it don't look like I'm going to be able to get them in a blood web. Press F5 to refresh blood web. That would be amazing and funny at the same time. Can I please get any of the new perks? He has 3 perks, and then there's, I know, an extra perk that was, please? Maybe if I equip one? Now maybe they'll be added to the blood web, because I mean, like, bro, I actually need leveled up perks that are his. Nope, doesn't matter. I would pay double the price just to be able to pick what I can level up. Septic Touch. Yeah, that's the last one. Oh, there it is. Did they change the blood web to make it easier to get more perks? Did you see that? Or did they make it a guarantee for the perk to pop up at different levels? That would be nice. To have guaranteed perks for that killer to pop up at like level 10, 20, and 30 or something like that, to at least assure that you get something from it. That might be how that's designed. I mean, if you're gonna give me something that's not his perks, give me like Nurse's Calling or something. There's the second of Darkness revealed. Hopefully this ain't too loud for you. Alright, so add-ons. Followers Cow. They believe the cows proved their enlightenment, but they merely kept themselves in darkness. Teleporting to the remnant will activate killer instinct even when not in Nightfall. So apparently if you teleport to your particular remnant during Nightfall, you activate killer instinct, which is interesting. Auras of lockers are visible in yellow while charging the gloaming and teleporting. The only thing that's locked, you can potentially target and find a survivor there. Interesting. Malthinker's Skull increases Nightfall charge speed by 66% while any survivor is injured. Alright, behavior. This is a meme of a goddamn killer if I've ever seen one. The mushroom tip head, all of the little add-ons and everything else. They are memeing. Increases Nightfall charges when a survivor is hooked by 25%. Automarian Raiden. Decreases teleport cooldown by 4 seconds while not in Nightfall. That's crazy. The dredge will emerge from its remnants facing the same direction as when teleported is activated instead of the direction facing when the remnant is placed. Oh, okay. That actually is better than what I thought it was going to be. So, for example, wait, hang on. Yeah, all right, I'm right. So, for example, if you have somebody running the kill shack loop, because there's lockers inside of that, you can have your killer remnant spawn as you're teleporting, pointed at that particular window. Teleport inside into the locker, hop out of the locker, well, not hop out of the locker, but teleport to the locker and all of that. And if that survivor runs back through, you can teleport to your remnant as sort of a pseudo fake if they're reading you, and you can teleport and retake control of your remnant and be looking at the particular window as sort of like a little fake or pseudo fake thing. That's very good. Or, you know, like the Sadako TVs. If you see that the locker is facing a particular way, or the locker, if you see that the survivor is facing a particular way, when you teleport to a locker to try and cut the survivor off, if they run back, you can use that particular direction to time your hits, things like that. I see why it's brown, because it's not useful, but it's useful at the same time. Because you can set up a remnant trap, teleport. Any survivor that tries to touch your remnant or anything like that, or any survivor trying to go through a specific area. My only thing is, you can't see when you're inside of a particular locker, though, so you're going to be relying particularly on sound. Because if you could see the outside area, it would make this add-on worth buckets of gold, but I don't think you can see from inside of the locker, can you? That's the only thing that makes me worry, is setting up traps like that and having to rely on the survivor's grunts of pains and things like that, as opposed to being able to see what's going on. Survivor orders are revealed for 3 seconds when using the last teleport token. When interlocking using teleport, other lockers within 6 meters of survivors open and slam their doors. So there's your direct deception counter. As an add-on as well. Increases Nightfall charge, but well, we already looked at that. Decreases the time to exit a locker by 1 second. He's already fast as fuck exiting lockers. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Okay. Air freshener. Add 1 additional power token for teleporting. That's kind of disgusting. Justice to deception. I'm gonna riot this game. Honestly, deception opens up a particular locker as you're running through it. If you were a killer and a survivor opens and then shuts a locker in your goddamn face while you're inside of that shit, they're obviously gonna lock that shit. So I think if you deception a locker that the killer's in, you should open the locker, or instead of opening the locker and getting caught and all of that, I think you should automatically lock that locker. That would be a direct upgrade for deception for that killer and give it a little bit more strength. I mean, deception's fine as is, but I would rather it be a positive towards survivor than it being a negative. You deception when the killer's in the locker and you're just kind of cheesed, you know? You're done. But I guess it's risk versus reward at this point. Increase the duration of Nightfall for 20 seconds. I assume Nightfall only lasts like 30 seconds then. Unless they're going off the Legion train. Alright, I'm not pulling any more perks. So I need to make a build off of this. 3 seconds after injuring a survivor, by any means. That is scary. Dissolution activates for 16 seconds. While Dissolution is active, if a survivor fast bolts over a pallet inside your tear radius, the entity will break the pallet at the end of your volt. Or their volt. What's the cooldown? There's no cooldown. At all. There's no cooldown for this perk. So you're telling me that I can hit any survivor, and if they vault a pallet directly after that, that shit's just gonna break. What in the actual fuck behavior? You're fucking up, my dude. You need to add like a 20-second cooldown to that shit. That is way too OP. If they, you run against somebody who's like, if one person on their team is a pallet drop every pallet as you're chasing them, they potentially ruin the entire game for the rest of the other survivors because their pallets are useless. By the way, I today played finally with normal exhaustion perk instead of head-on. The game is much easier, to be honest. It's kind of windy now. Yeah, it's a little bit windy here. Not bad. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. Head-on activations, I generally don't get right, to be honest with you. And it kind of frustrates me because I'm head-on. But yeah, if you run into a lobby with people that just throw pallets willy-nilly, then this perk's going to destroy them. But if you run into a proper lobby, like up in the iridescent, where they'll just take the hit and then continue on and save the pallet, then it doesn't matter. Because they're going to be using the pallets to stun you at the end, and then they're going to leave anyway. So it ain't going to matter. So that's kind of an interesting perk. I do heavily believe that it should have a cooldown on it, because that's crazy. Darkness revealed. When you search a locker, the auras of all survivors within 8 meters of any locker will be worth to you for 4 seconds. Now this perk has a 30-second cooldown, which is obviously because it's aura reading. That is stupidly overpowered. Stupidly overpowered. They kind of need to change that. Unless they're just straight out saying that, aura reading perks that happen every 30 seconds is okay. Imagine this shit on a fucking huntress. Hell, even Nurse could probably use, or a Legion, or hell, any killer that has a amount of speed and all of that. Because you have quite a few generators that are literally placed by lockers. So as soon as you open up a particular locker, any survivors that are doing generators that are inside of tiles are going to be shown to you. That is way too goddamn OP. Like, holy shit. Especially if you have an ability to teleport to said locker. Yeah, something like Nurse or Huntress or something like that, or Trickster even. Somebody that has to grab equipment from a locker. It's aura reading every time they grab equipment from it. Now, 8 meters isn't much, but it should be enough for them to get the aura reads on you in any loot. So the kill shack generators, the PAL generators, and things like that. Or on the Plagues map, for example, where almost every generator is by a goddamn locker. You're kind of fucked. They're always going to know where you are, so you just got to kind of gen rush. Septic Touch. Whenever a survivor performs the healing action within your terror radius, the survivor suffers from blindness and exhaustion. Effects lingers for 8 seconds after the healing action is interrupted by the need. What if it finishes? Does it go away when it finishes? Or is interrupted finishing considered an interrupt? I don't know. We'll probably find out. That's ridiculous. So somebody that's healing can't just dead hard away and continue to run. When you heal, you're healing. You're stuck there. But what is interesting about this is it says whenever a survivor performs the healing action. So if survivors are strictly using other survivors to heal, then the healthy survivor gets hit with that, not the actual injured survivor. I don't typically run heal perks that I can heal myself with. I do run medical every once in a while, but that's not that big of a deal, because when I run a med kit, I usually run a syringe or a shift agent. So, I mean, I'm not losing much in that regard. But it's, again, just fear-monger speeding. I would like to have, like, nurses calling or something to run on the end. Or at the very least, no ad when I get clapped. Well, Dark Devotion didn't work only on the obsession. I would run Dark Devotion with this build. If it was any survivor, that would be absolutely positively amazing. Because they had a sense, but it's only the obsession. I mean, fuck it. Why not run Fearmonger with that? So now when they're working on a generator or healing, I don't have to worry about dead hogs. Increases Killer Instinct duration by 1.5 seconds during Nightfall. It's going to take a while to search for a map, or a match. So I'm going to go ahead and ready up. Keep in mind my controller's broken, so hey. It's probably the only map that's available right now, but fuck it, I'm going to run it for now. No add-ons for the moment. I want to see what this killer can do on his own. When survivors injured from full health during Nightfall, they are afflicted with blindness, hemorrhage, and mangled for 60 seconds. Jesus Christ. But that vault pallet destroy thing had drowning in my concept. Did it? Oh, I guess I should give my actual opinions over the actual perks and all of that. Oh, no, that's Dark Devotion. So, the killer itself can hop back and forth between lockers, and he gets power when he becomes nighttime in the particular map. Which means every map's going to have a daylight cycle. Looking at this particular killer, remember, killers should have or be able to cover one of three things. Map pressure, gen pressure, or chase pressure. This killer is a teleporting killer that can bounce back and forth in between lockers. Most generators have lockers near them, so it does or can potentially be about 80% map pressure. But it doesn't suit the bill exactly. Yes, it can teleport between multiple instances of lockers. However, you know, that's not necessarily the entire map worth of map pressure. I mean, same with Freddy. Freddy can literally teleport to the generator at any given time. But with perks and everything like that, supplementing that, you can either get to 100, or we'll look at his other things he can do. Chase pressure. This killer has absolutely 0% chase pressure. Well, let's give it a 5% chase pressure, because you can use it like Sadako's TVs, and you can try and teleport in front of that survivor, pop out, and you know, etc., etc. Get that survivor as he's running by and set up traps for him. And then gen pressure comes from just that particular perk that allows you to open up a locker and see anything that's near the lockers. But that's not a, yeah, darkness revealed. But that's not indicative to this particular killer. These perks can be used on any other killer in the game, so that's not directly related to that particular killer. So the only thing that this killer has is about an 80%, maybe even 75% value of map pressure. So, I mean, all in all, I would have to say that it doesn't completely check out to give you something. But because the perks that he introduces kind of supplements the other 20 to 25%, I would give it a barely pass, barely keeping his head above water score in that particular aspect. I also threw in an extra 5% because it's the actual company that owns the game. On top of that, to make it barely passing. But you would like for him to have better map pressure. Because anybody that gen rushes this particular killer or anything like that, essentially hard counters him. Anybody that loops this killer for a long amount of time, this killer can do nothing. So he has to remain on the move at all times. You can't get stuck to one survivor chasing them. It's not going to work for you. So, in a build, you would either have to give this killer some sort of speed perk, or you would have to supplement, some other perks, like some of his perks all together to create a useful build. He's not, well, on paper, because I've never played him, he's not a very strong killer, but he's not a weak killer. Because I have to take out the perks and everything and just evaluate the killer on its own. The killer on its own is a teleporting mouse one killer that gets power as time goes on. Well, gains and loses power as time goes on. So you got teleportation to move throughout the map, ever so slightly. I mean, you can only go to one place. And then beyond that, it's like, damn, bro, I'm a mouse one killer once I get out of the locker. So anybody that knows how to loot properly, as long as they, avoid, obviously, traps of me jumping into the locker, and they just lock them bitches as they go by, just in case I do try to pull the old Scooby on them, then, they can easily loot me indefinitely. Gen pressure, I mean, yes, there are lockers that spawn near gens, but you would need some sort of help on knowing which gen you need to go to. If not, you just pick 2 random gens and hope people are there. You can take an educated guess and probably find a survivor, but it's not a guarantee that you're going to find a survivor there. And if you use your power up like that, and you don't find any survivors, or the survivors run and they get away from you, you have to wait until your tokens recharge. Also, I just previously talked about this. The power that they have for this is Reign of Darkness. Like a dark thought, the dredge is difficult to shake, and when night falls, it is nearly impossible. Then straight up goes special ability, the gloaming, and then use the power button on that particular thing to activate. What's the power, man? What is Reign of Darkness? Explain what Reign of Darkness is. You don't have to use the word power there for Reign of Darkness. You can use another word as a subtext for what all the powers. Was that a horse? That was a horse. I just went over this. But I also said once it gets incorporated into the game, you can use it, however. You can list it however. This is in the game already. And this is the format that they use in game. So this is fine. But as a concept, if this was wrote on paper, I would be like, hell no. Explain what that particular power is. And not just leave things like that. We did get a game. You can go ahead and ready up. I have all my perks set. So again, do not have Reign of Darkness listed as a power and then not have it associated with the power button at all. This little bitty, but clever description that you have afterwards is nice, but I want to know what this Reign of Darkness does because it's indicative to the power. Instead of saying the gloaming as the special ability and all of that, you could literally bring Reign of Darkness as the power down to replace the gloaming, because the gloaming doesn't even sound like a good power. But that's your our creative distance or differences and taste differences. But the Reign of Darkness could have easily been put right over the special ability, the gloaming, and press and hold the power button to activate the Reign of Darkness. And that would have been acceptable. Don't put power and then a word after power and then give a description. It doesn't make sense logically. It just don't. I know it's their game design, so once it gets put into the game, you can reorder it however you want and put it in like that. That's fine putting it in that order in the game. But concept-wise, don't leave it looking like that. That's why when I go over creation reviews and all of that, and I see that, like, I understand you're trying to copy what the game says, but you shouldn't be copying what the game says. You should be making your own creation, putting them in a proper format that's easy to read. You should be describing everything, etc., etc. Alright, first thing you always do on this map is you go straight to the middle and you break the door right here. That is the first thing that you should do all times. Why does this killer feel slow? I hate broken controller. Wow, that was a very slow break time. Holy shit. I can't say I'm a big fan of that overlay. Oh, you can like walk back when it says return to remnant. I see. When you first put it down, you can do the thing. As you can see, he has no chase pressure. I pressed the wrong button. I meant to teleport there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that guy. An early pallet drop. I shouldn't waste my time breaking pallets either, by the way, because I can just hit them and make them break the pallet. Hello, Leon. Why would I go after you? You're not doing a gen, brother. If you're not doing a gen, I have no reason to go after you. Funny. Wow. Now what happens if I just face camp you out, brother? Here's the borrowed time. Yeah, you basically forced to use your teleport ability here. I really don't care about you. Again, he's not doing gym. They locked all the lockers over there. That's funny. Okay, it's night. Well, no, it's not nighttime yet. I keep pressing the wrong button to teleport, bro. Teleport. Exit. I could have teleported to the other side of that, now that I think about it. Oh, you can tell that they're... Okay. Also, disability. You know you don't make that. This guy's not the brightest, huh? I'm not gonna follow you, dude. You're not doing gyms. You're a waste of my time. Ah! I tapped that. That should have been a grab, by the way. But that's fun. Well. Oh, did he get it? Nope. Ooh, its attack animation's weird. Okay. Hmm. So if they can see the remnant, yep. I grabbed you. What do you mean? I grabbed you. Oh my lord. I'm so angry. It's 2 grabs that I've been deprived of. Go ahead and DC and PTB, crazy. So you can hook camp using your remnant. Not good. That's not good at all. Drop it. That's like super not good. And they really need to change that. So if you tunnel with this killer, you can actually get quite a lot done here. Ah, I couldn't get it turned. Damn, he lost it. I don't like the targeting system on the lockers either. Oh, it's nighttime. I can see everybody. This theory with devs posting this to get an opinion seems realistic. Definitely indecent. Absolutely positively indecent. See if anybody's working on gens. Sucks for you. You were quite the distance away. That park is amazing. Nobody's working on gens either. You can see through the lockers too. I didn't want to go all the way down here. Are you crazy? Man, she got so much time off of that. I don't like the targeting system at all on that. Kinda pisses me off. We're gonna watch for boil over, and we're not gonna give them a double activation. One activation's fine, but not double. So if I put that there, ah, she DC'd. I was gonna see if I can actually camp that properly. Yeah, you can just leave your thing at the bottom of the kill shack stairs. When somebody walks through it, teleport to the locker down there. And bada bing, bada boom. That's bad behavior. Basement camping's gonna be heavy on this killer. Hook camping's gonna be super heavy on this killer. If I can know when they're walking through my remnant and then teleport to the locker as they're going for an unhook and get those grabs, oh, absolutely not. Or a hit or something like that, nah. Nah, behavior. Nah. That needs to be fixed. Oh. Damn, did I kill them all already? Or did... There's no way I killed 3 of them there. I did. I got 3 of them. Holy shit. But I can't believe that I remember this locker teleport concept you went through. I'm gonna accompany you to the end of your match. Well, that was, we got a win off of that. We got 3 sacrifices, and I come to realize that this is the ultimate camping killer. What happens when the remnant gets taken away? It just prevents you from going back to the remnant's place. However, if you put that in the bottom of basement stairs where they have to run through it, then as soon as they touch that remnant, you can easily just boop, voila yourself back into the basement locker, jump out of that shit, and then attack them. Or if they elect to not pop your remnant, you can just pop back into your remnant after they try to get that unhook, or as they're trying to get the unhook. That stacked with the perk that allows you to open the lockers to see any auras that are within your basement, because that's 8 meters in a radius of a circle or a bubble. You can open that and see if anybody's in kill shack, because that radius is ridiculous how far that goes. Dredge, ultimate camping killer. Bubba set noises. Yeah. Bubba just has to stand there patiently and get people as they come in. Whereas this killer can still go and chase people and maneuver around. That's bad for this killer. I don't like this. As soon as you get in the basement, there's really no feasible way for you to escape. Even if they go through and lock all of the basement lockers, for example, all you have to do is just go to one of the lockers. So they would have to lock all of the kill shack lockers. Then they would have to go into the basement and lock the front two basement lockers bare minimum, without you coming back through and breaking those logs, because once the logs are gone, they're gone. That needs to be changed. I don't agree with that at all. Sure. I also run deception. Dead Horde, Urban Evasion, Adrenaline. We'll do that. Since I get refunded anything I use in the PTB, why not go big? Like a Ranger med kit. Actually, that's the one that only increases other. It's got 32 charges, though. I don't have anything to put in it, though. Could use a flashlight. My people need me. See you another time and good luck. Thank you, Galanonim. Thanks for stopping by, as always. If I make the mist darker, I want to see what happens in nighttime with thicker mist. The new map, by the way, is, again, a copy of an asset that I've seen in Hitman. They just took that asset, changed a couple of things, and made it a place that you can run through. I'm kind of disappointed. Hey, we're going against the Dreads. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't actually create their own map. I mean, not from scratch, obviously, but, you know, they didn't actually take the time to, you know, create, or not create, create's the bad word, add to the map to make it a worthwhile, interactive, you know, scarier type map like they did with Haddonfield and things like that. Because they could have made that into a terrific map if they spent more time on it. I mean, it hasn't been implemented yet, but still. This map is actually a very bad map for the dredge. These generators are out in the forest and things like that. There's like 2 or 3 that are near towels, but we can also wait till the end of the game to get those. I guarantee you the first thing he did was open a locker. Really? You didn't see her? It's a hit swipe. That's why it looks so weird to me. The swipe of that hit is so... like he... yeah, like it's... I don't know. It seems like the hit's longer and then he swipes instead of going for it regularly. You ain't fast enough. I knew you were going to try it. Dead hard. Wasted. Wasted dead hard. Flashlight. Missed flashlight. I should have died near the window. Oh, good save. I just broke that pallet. I didn't think about that, but I just broke that pallet. I thought he jumped out of the one on the outside. Come on, man. You also need to be doing gens instead of just following me around. Take the chase if you want it. But don't bring me into your chases, you know what I'm saying? I know it's PTB and it's all fun and games and all of that, but it's also like, bruh, if you want to take the chase, take the chase. I want to get down to 1 generator left before we start messing around with the killer. That's generally the common thing we do with PTB. Do all the gens so the killer can see, you know, how hard it is to play, etc., etc. It's kind of a nod of the head. And then we have fun looping the killer and all of that till we generally die. It is dark as shit with that dark mist additive. So if they up the mist one level with this darkness, it's actually pretty legit. Without the enhanced mist, it ain't doing anything. So definitely behavior. If you somehow reaches the voice of one of y'all, increase the mist about as much as the purple, and then make it dark. This also looks to be, there's a dark filter on top of the darkness. It's not bad though, I can see everything clearly. Now I know he's undetectable, which is kind of, ooh. But even the sounds and all of that, and the delusions and hallucinations ain't even that bad. I also don't have my sound cranked like usual, so I guess this would be terrifying, or bad. Again, if I go down for this and I bump into his remnant, I'm just going to end up in the basement with them. So I'm not a big fan of that. Oh shit! How does that happen? I ran right in front of him. I think he was chasing somebody else. I ain't played this game in a couple of months, y'all. Give me a break. Again, if he's being healed by the other person, which they should have healed in the basement instead of walking all the way up then healing. But that is what it is. He's gonna get the blindness and exhausted and all of that. Not the other guy. He's about to turn and clap my cheeks. This is gonna be the end of OQ. Oh, he actually got a grab. That locker grab's too hard to time to actually try to rely on. Kindred has an interesting interaction with it. Oh, there's a timer that shows you how long the darkness is. I don't know why you had to put a timer over each of our portraits. You could have just added in a timer, you know, one place in between all of our portraits, or on the other side, or down by the generator count, or something like that. Alright. One more generator and then we can all go mess with the killer and die. Also, that killer is stuck in animation when he jumps out of lockers. So anybody using like a flashbang, or you've got a flashlight across from the locker, you can blind his ass if he's jumping out of that shit. Hopefully, well, no, because if it procs, I get my adrenaline back, even if the last gen gets done accidentally. I'm by a locker, so if he opens up a locker, which he just did, he knows where I'm at. And it's nighttime. Alright, there's the final gen done. So now it's just kind of mess with the killer and try to survive. I ain't played this game in forever. So fucking sloppy. You must be using Nurse's Calling, which is the play, by the way. And there's the end of my run. Dun 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 dun. This is actually the best map to showcase the darkness in. I'd say it's around about the equivalence of the old offerings that they have. I think they just re-enabled that shit, that particular code offering that they took out a long time ago, and just reintroduced that. But in the last couple of reviews, I've talked about bringing that offering back, so they did it in a unique way. I still got the pip up. It doesn't matter because it's PTB, but I still got it. There you go. There's a win with the killer and a loss with the survivor. The survivor, I was just kind of running around because I didn't really know what to do. Been so long since I played this damn game. I was just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Played like a true ass. I'll tell you what. I'm going to add Rocket League to the end of this particular stream. And then I'm going to end stream, and then I'm going to make a RimWorld stream. I should be taking a break today from playing RimWorld, but I'm at a pretty decent spot in the game to where if I push through another stream, I can get to the next research era and start unlocking, you know, weapons and electricity and all of that. So I kind of want to straight up. Oh, I forgot to turn the damn volume back up. Y'all probably didn't hear shit. So I'll probably play a little RimWorld. I'm not going to go over 4 hours if I can help it, though. My dude's too busy putting on his fucking mic than going for a boost and doing what he's supposed to be doing. Oh, boy. And he has a shitty ass mic. Push to talk, bro. Like, bro. I don't want to hear your buttons being pressed. I don't want to hear the shitty quality of your fucking mic. Push to talk your shit if you know you got a fucking dumbass mic. Motherfucker faked back when I was actively passing towards him. That's the type of shit I can't stand about this. First game, already got a dumbass that don't know what's going on. Literally air dribbling that shit to his car, and then he turns back and he's heading back towards our goal. I'm like, bitch. Go for this shit. I ain't doing it just to do it like most people do. Alright. Take the shot, bitch. Quit dribbling. Oh my god. Thank god he's an idiot and he's own goal back. This is not what you want to do. You want to shoot that shit. Redirect it, shoot it as fast as you can. Don't catch that shit and then put it in the opposite corner. No. Shoot that shit. Redirect it. If you miss, then worry about that shit later on, getting the ball in. But don't just fucking do that dumb shit. You're giving them a chance to come back and fucking score that shit. Right there. I put it behind them to make it awkward. And then I scored it instead of taking a direct shot. That's all you gotta do. That guy turned left. It's behind him. Bang. Put it in the other corner. Easy goal shots. Look at the teammates, your opponent's positions, and if somebody's out of position, take advantage of it. You gotta be quick. You gotta be decisive. But don't be sloppy about it. Like that. There's no reason for him to follow and knock that guy off the wall. He's already away from it. There's nothing you can do. Now nobody's there to score that because of that, because both of my teammates committed and nobody decided to recover back to cover the next touch. That's a pass they read. Yeah. Okay. He could have redirected that over my teammate's head. That pre-jump bet. Dumb thing to do. Wait on the touch, then counter. That's a dumb fucking shot. That could have been in. None of them are in a position to save that if he would have put it top middle. Again, watch your opponent's position. Don't just do whatever you think's willy-nilly. Not that hard. Look, adapt, react, and overcome. I'm going to stall this. Maybe I can drag this guy in. I did. All three of them got dragged in. Even better. He's going for boost instead of pushing ball and covering me. And it's gone. Now they have a breakaway play. I was about to say, if you don't challenge that, that's a goal. He's cutting across field. Okay, and did absolutely nothing with that cut across field. Congratulations, you're a dumbass. There's a dim there. We just got to worry about this guy putting it across. Easy pop up. It's awkward for him. Even if he tries to catch it, he can't do much. Wait for the touch, then counter. It's not that hard. If I had boost, I would have taken that better, but no boost. Don't know why you're past goal. Didn't fucking goal, bitch. Shouldn't be fucking moving. I even put you over there, and you still couldn't fucking get that. Why are you trying to come out that side? Protect the fucking goal like you're supposed to. Stop trying to leave goal. You're the back man. Get your ass in there. You're ready for the fucking touch that's coming in. I'm gonna start my own fucking Rocket League fucking crew called the Big Brain League. Anybody that plays dumbass Rocket League like these are immediately gonna be fucking ejected out, because that's fucking ridiculous. Like, just get out. Requirements, having at least 20% brain capacity. It's not for you, teammate, it's for the other teammate who's afraid to go up. Take the shot. Go. 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 We're all behind you and you're still faking. You see the problem there. Finish it. That's fine. We'll push it. Go. 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 God damn. Open fucking ball. He's faking. Guy pushing the ball on the ground towards him. He's faking. He ain't gonna fucking lift that shit. It's on the fucking ground. You're faking again, brother. Passes back to teammate got demoed. Never mind. Chat's in the way, so I couldn't see who demoed whom. That was my teammate behind me, by the way. I thought it was the opponent. Come on, go this. Like, fuck it. I don't think our team deserved to win this shit. Nah, bad shot. No. Fuck that. Shitty ass fucking team. Well, shitty ass teammate. Other guy was cool. That teammate was fucking absolute doo-doo fucking trash. Send him back down a division where he can hesitate all he likes. He ain't welcome in this shit. This might not be my main division, but I know the skill base of most people in this particular division, and he ain't cutting it. Send him. Vanity's wanting to talk shit. We'll go ahead and just do that. On to the next. He's got that. Oh, we don't have that. That should have been a straight in shot. I fucking missed, bro. That should have been a shot by him, though. I shouldn't have had to cover that like I did. Good touch. You can't follow it, though. We'll put it down in front. He got absolutely destroyed. I knew that was coming, but teammates on wall, so I had to go there. It wouldn't make any sense for me to just sit there, because if teammate missed, then it's in. He literally made it to where he was the back man and I was the challenge man, is what he did by going up that wall. If I can explain that to you and why I win. Put this eye in the corner. It'll be awkward as shit for him. And then shoot it. We'd like a better shot on the left side, but that's fine. At least you shot it. Easy. The fact that he took that bait. Okay, why are you cutting across? Ball's over there. Oh, that ain't it. I could cut that, but fuck, there's no point in sending it now. I'm gonna tap this down. Block that down. Now there's one guy versus the two of them. Never mind. Teammate went and is faking back. It should have been a 1v2 situation. Teammate, you really dropped the ball there. That's in. Oh, he missed a shot. He had me dead to rights. I should have went up. But how was I to know that he'd clear that right? You know what I'm saying? I'll just beat him. Close. You should be challenging that way earlier. If you're gonna challenge it when it's the best opportunity. Don't wait. He tried to demo me. Now he don't know what the fuck to do with his life. Nice. I'm gonna pop this right there so we can shoot it. I lost my angle and I didn't know where I was supposed to redirect that to, and he wasn't following my next shot, so I passed it back to him to give him the best shot. That is the smart decision. If you know you can't redirect the ball or you're not confident about it, give it back to the motherfucker that passed it to you that has the better shot and can see what's going on. Block that. I figured that was going to happen. Pop it to the right because they're expecting me to just shoot it. Both of them double committed. I've got them out of their positions. Somebody should go for that. It's open. They cleared it. He should be able to send it back. Not towards me. You're lucky I was there, boy. Beautiful. Now take it in. That's teamwork. There we go. And you should be ready for touches like that. If I know I don't want to take it across goal, I'm going to put it in whatever's safest to take. That's you. If you don't go for that, I was confused. He acted like he was going, so I stopped. I'm like, I'm not. Oh, that's savage. I didn't know whether or not he was gonna go for a fast kickoff or what the fuck he was doing, but he took off. So I was like, and I didn't want to double commit this kickoff, bro. You know, it's very confusing. Nope. You were dumb for even going for that, because you know you seen me there. I thought I was gonna get demoed. Oh, snap. He went for the boost instead. No! Whatever. Okay. Shoot that, please. No. It was a perfect pass, too. I don't know what to do here. Thank God. You should not have stopped. When you stopped, you should have continued to turn around and go backwards. As soon as your momentum ended, you ain't getting that ball anymore. Yeah, that's not it. That's not it either, Chief. Damn. I can get back before he does, though. Teammate, why did you leave goal? That's what I want to know. There's no way you were going to get to that fucking corner in time, and even if you did, it was going to spill out towards our goal. Why did you leave goal for that shit? It's the pre-jumps and pre-going for shit that kills me. Why did you jump? I was on the wall. I don't think I've made any grievous errors from the start of this game, so you have, you know, no reason not to trust me. You didn't redirect that. I'll wait. We'll wait again, because I don't know who got demoed. Should have jumped earlier. Slow. That's a good clear. Wow. Wow, then he passed it back to us. Okay, GG. Goodbye. Wow. Now, the first touch that he made that popped over his teammate's head, his teammate should have known better. He was going back along with the ball. His teammate should have stopped and waited to see what he was going to do. He was the closer person to the ball there. So when he flipped it over the teammate's head, if the teammate hadn't have been in a rush, he would have had a ball popped up to him that he could have made a play off of. But he was too busy trying to come in and double commit the same position with his teammate. The first one was on the other guy. But then after that, funking over his second teammate that went for it, that's his fault. He should have left the ball at that point and said, fuck it, I've already fucked up, it's time to go. Or he should have taken his time getting control of the ball and not just panic touching it. By that time, you should be looking in your rear view, seeing if anybody's coming up on you, trying to, you know, fix yourself and post back up. So he did one right thing, you know, popping it up and, you know, just in case somebody's challenging. And then the second one he fucked up, which gave us the match. His third man or his back man should have never been there, though, in his defense. He should have never challenged that. All three of you in the same position should have never been a thing. At all. I don't have boost. Never should have been a thing. So, to be frank, the back man's at fault, that guy's at fault, and the other guy's at fault. But I mean, if your teammate's going to cut position, you should also be aware that, you know, if you tricked one guy on your team, you should definitely be aware that the second one ain't coming up either. I would have probably flicked the ball over both, and the same thing would have happened to me, though, because I wouldn't have assumed my back man would have came up in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy, challenging in the fucking corner and shit, when I have control of the ball in the corner. Don't make any fucking sense. Damn, couldn't get that touch. Don't make any fucking sense at all for him to challenge that when I was in the corner with ball. I'm not upside down. I'm not immediately being challenged. Leave me the fuck alone, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know where my teammate came from there. Maybe he was off screen and I didn't check. Maybe he came from behind me. I don't know. Okay, brother, you gotta stop challenging on fucking walls as I'm literally there challenging. Because you ain't helping me in the end. You're just cutting me. Making me waste boost and shit. I could have been doing other things with my life. Why that way, though? If you would have waited a little second and stayed back, you would have had full ball control. Can't get it over to your side, buddy. You see that they're challenging from the right side. If I passed it right, I'm literally risking them dunking into goal. But if I say anything, he's going to say, well, you didn't pass to me. Like, yes, I'm not a fucking idiot. Oh. I thought he was going to touch it, so I didn't go for it anymore. Well, he definitely takes those. Clean. That's a panic touch. That shouldn't have happened. Now they have speed to make a very, very tough shot. Their teammate free jump. Oh, he's faking back. See, I don't have boost. There's no reason for him to fake back on that. Being the back man, you should have just postured up and got ready for the shot if it was coming. Like that. He should challenge me there. He's the second to back man. That's his job, is to make me lose ball control. The rest of them have no idea of rotation, though, which gave me that easy-ass shot in. Is he really boost camping, or what the fuck's going on there? Oh, how do you miss those? How do you jump? Oh! Boy, you jump over me one more fucking time. One more fucking time. And fuck some shit up. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. He was about ready to cut me again. Holy shit. You got him with the fake. He just knew I was going to shoot that. All he needed to do was get in front of the ball. He didn't even have to worry about what I was doing. He was close enough. Pop that over him, take the demo, doesn't matter. This guy's already on the wall, challenging something he didn't need to be on the wall for. I'm going to pop this up to make it awkward if he challenges it. Exactly, it's just going to roll for us. Beautiful. Let him challenge that, there's no danger. He gave us a nice little setup. I can put it over his teammate. Now it's a 1v2. Our teammate missed. My other teammate should not have left goal whatsoever, just in case. He left our goal open for retaliation. They double committed a corner. Other teammate's going to keep going forward, so I can... Oh, never mind. I was going to pass to him, but, you know, maybe he's not as big-brained as I thought he was. Ah, that bump fucking ruined me. Pop this back out. That's not good enough. That's right into his pocket. Wow. Wow. Just how he stole that boost and then immediately fucked up. Nice shot. Wow. That's fun. He ruined another touch. And I'm out. I played a couple of games on Rocket League just to fulfill the Rocket League quota. I'm not playing anymore. This fucking dog shit teammates today are even worse than usual. I'm not gonna go through that right now. I've been having good times avoiding Rocket League and playing RimWorld, so that's what I'm going to do. Stream's ending for now, and then I will be coming back with RimWorld later on once I get the food situation taken care of. So thank you anybody that has stopped by, will stop by, or will stop by in the future. And as always, supplement your lifestyle and stay away from Rocket League because they are absolute doo-doo. Peace.